All right, guys, when it comes to what's going on in politics today, July, August, and September are critical months when it comes to the Social Security cost of living increase for 2022. We're going to talk about that with a little bit more details because many of you are going to be receiving quite a bit of money in 2022. Also, we're going to talk about the next round of stimulus negotiation. Bottom line, are we going to receive a stimulus check or not? That's the question that we're going to try to answer here, Mostly Money. Well, you've made it to the right channel. All you need to do for yourself now is subscribe. Click that bell notification so you get the latest and greatest information coming from Mostly Money, because we're going to always be here for you and your loved ones. July, August, and September are the months in which they use to calculate the cost of living increase that individuals are looking forward to. During January of this year, all you received, if you were on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, all you received at that time period was a 1.3 cost of living adjustment or increase, which was little next to nothing, especially after dealing with that started in 2020. But now individuals can look forward to a lot more than just 1.3 because the rate of inflation, well, it's still going up as well.
And it's not your imagination. It's costing you more to live. The Labor Department reported the cost of living is more than 5% higher than it was this time last year. CBS 4's Alice Gaynor takes a look at which products are getting more expensive.
Filling up at the pump remains pricey, especially for drivers with long commutes.
If I'm having to put, $30 or $40 in my tank every other day, that's a lot.
A new government report says gas is up 41% compared to last year, fueling a rise in overall prices, including food. The cost of eating out in July saw its biggest one-month surge in 40 years. And shoppers are spending more at the grocery store. Beef and veal jumped 6.5% in the past year. Pork products increased nearly 8%, and whole milk rose 8%.
A lot of these prices have definitely gone up.
And that has Catherine Carcamo changing her shopping habits.
Maybe like a brand that you usually don't buy, or maybe like smaller.
There is a little bit of good news. Even though prices are going up, they're not rising as fast as previous months.
Used car prices slowed last month after soaring for most of the year. Airline tickets declined a little from the previous month, but are still up 19% over last year.
Those increases that we've seen continue to put a squeeze on the household budget.
Bank rates, Greg McBride says it's not clear how long the current increases will continue.
We won't know until probably early part of 2022 with any clarity whether or not inflation was just passing through town or whether those higher numbers are here to stay for a while.
Related supply chain issues are one factor influencing costs. Once those stabilize, economists believe prices could too. Alice Gaynor, CBS News, New York.
And one bright spot in the report is prices for fruits and vegetables are down slightly in the past.
Now, remember what I mentioned before. July, August, and September, those are the months in which they do most of the calculating for the cost of living adjustment. So in October, when they make the announcement for what the cost of living increase will be, it'll be because of these three critical months. And we're going to talk about these months as time progresses. And you'll get a chance to know how much it's increasing by each month. Last month in July, it was at 5.4%. Kind of funny that it was the same amount of the rate of inflation that's right now. However, this month it is 6.2%. And we don't know what it's going to be in the month of September. But so far, everything is looking like it's going to be moving forward for a huge amount.
Some additional financial relief may be coming to 69 million Americans who collect Social Security. Advocacy groups project that they are on track to get a 6.1% cost of living adjustment, the biggest increase since 1983. And it comes as restrictions ease, causing a jump in inflation, with prices rising for everything from gasoline to groceries. So CBS Money Watch reporter Amy Peakey wrote an article about the possible cost of living hike and joins me now to talk a little bit more about this. So listen, Amy, can you expand on why this cost of living increase is so large compared to the 2021 adjustment?
Yeah, it all boils down to inflation. I think everybody's aware that things cost more this year. Groceries are up. Cars are more expensive. Gas, of course, when you go to the gas station, it's a lot more expensive this year to fill up your tank than it was last year. And the Social Security Administration uses the inflation figures to determine the annual cost of living bump that it will put into checks the following year. So that means that the Social Security Administration is tracking inflation and looking at these numbers, and they'll decide, based on the inflation this year, what seniors will see in their checks next year. And right now they're projecting, or not they, but advocates are projecting, given inflation so far this year, it's going to be 6.1%.
Oh, that is a lot bigger. So when could beneficiaries actually see this money? And is there a possibility that the percentage could fluctuate before they actually get the...
Yeah, great questions. The increase will come into effect in January's checks, and then that will be in effect for the rest of the year. The decision won't be made until October, so there is a possibility that it could come in lower than this or even higher if, for instance, inflation actually increases throughout the summer.
Now let's talk about the progress or the lack thereof when it comes to the fourth round of stimulus negotiations. We hear that there may be something put into the infrastructure bill, or something may be done separately to give another or a fourth check to individuals nationwide. They've already given out with the third check 164 million payments to individuals. Yet we all know that that was not enough. The petition has already gone out asking for $2,000 stimulus reoccurring checks, or even a $2,000 stimulus check would be great to help a lot of people out toward the rest of this year. However, we haven't heard anything quite yet, because you have the president and Congress right now focusing on two infrastructure bills in which they need to pass: the American Family Plan as well as the American Rescue Plan. B, the mess that President Biden and his administration, including part of what the Trump administration has done with Afghanistan. Both administrations actually dropped the ball, not just one. And so now the mess needs to be cleaned up over there. The next thing is they're dealing with the Delta variants, and that's another distraction. And also the eviction moratorium, which just recently had been rejected by the Supreme Court. So with all these things entangled in the same web, we all know that we are in need of a fourth round of stimulus. The question is when and if it's going to happen. So we're going to keep you guys posted. However, if you see any YouTubers giving you false titles saying that it's passed, or look at this, the stimulus bill is coming forth, it's not. Let's be patient, even though let's be real about it. Let's be honest with ourselves in regards to when it's going to take place and how it's going to take place.
There's new evidence the economic recovery is uneven at best. 385,000 Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week. Millions more will see their extended benefits run out by Labor Day. CBS's Mark Strassman has one family's struggle.
What if we have to be homeless? What are we going to do with the kids?
Aaron White's family of 6 had a lifeline. Iowa cut it.
There's daily breakdowns. It's not every once in a while.
At 38, her health has broken down. Severe asthma, pulmonary hypertension, and unidentified disorder. She and her husband John worked at a call center. Combined income, $60,000. Last April, they were fired after following her doctor's recommendation to quarantine due to her underlying condition.
It was a very hard thing to accept that that wasn't my job anymore and that this was my new reality.
In working-class Keokuk, Iowa, the unemployment rate almost 7%, higher than the statewide average. On June 12th, Governor Kim Reynolds cut off Washington's federal relief for the state's jobless. The message to nearly 25,000 Iowans: go find a job.
And the money went away quick, and we started to get the taste of losing everything then.
The repo man came for their van. They're 3 months behind on rent.
We're losing everything. We're failing. I want to help my family. There's a lot of us, and it takes a lot of money, and I want to be able to help them, and I feel like I can't. I don't have that control.
Across the Mississippi, the Whites can see Illinois.
Their governor still allows them benefits.
Lost in our recovering economy, millions of Americans still need help.
And the sad part is this: Congress seems to be focusing on everything and everyone except everyone